The Avengers radio series, a cultural phenomenon in South Africa back in the 1970s, South Africa was a country with no national television service. It wasn't until 1976 that the country would get its first taste of television broadcasts. But before that, radio was the primary medium of entertainment and information for the masses. This was the context when The Avengers, a British spy FI series, made its debut on South African radio and became a cultural phenomenon. The Avengers was a British television series that originally aired from 1961 to 1969. The show revolved around the adventures of John Steed, a suave and sophisticated secret agent, and his various female associates. The series was a unique blend of traditional spy thriller elements with science fiction and fantasy, which set it apart from other shows of its time. While the series was hugely popular in the UK and had also made a significant impact in the American markets, being one of the rare British series given a network transmission slot, it was virtually unknown in South Africa. This was primarily due to the lack of a national television service in the country until 1976. However, as a film series, The Avengers was able to gain some exposure in South Africa through film rentals. But it was the launch of the radio series that truly brought The Avengers to the masses in South Africa. Come and listen at www.myclassicradio.net. 21st Precinct, aka 21st Precinct and 21st Precinct, was a police drama broadcast on CBS Radio from July 7, 1953, to July 26, 1956. It was initially a summer replacement for My Friend Irma. The program was produced in cooperation with the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association of the City of New York and presented adaptations from true criminal records in New York. From the policeman's point of view. Historically, the 21st Precinct had been located near Gramercy Park in Manhattan, but in 1929 the department reorganized the precinct numbering, and the 21st designation was dropped from use. No such precinct existed during the show's run, nor does a 21st exist today. However, the fictional precinct's territory corresponds closely to that of the Upper East Side's 23rd Precinct as it has existed since 1929. Stanley Niss was the producer-writer-director. The role of Precinct Captain Frank Kennelly was played by Everett Sloan for the first 109 episodes and briefly in episode 135. During episode 109, Captain Frank Kennelly was promoted to Deputy Inspector and reassigned out of the 21st Precinct. He was replaced by Captain Cronin James Gregory, 1955-56, and Les Damon, 1956. Other cast regulars were Ken Lynch as Lieutenant Matt King, Harold Stone as Sergeant Waters, Jack Arissa as Sergeant Collins, and Santos Ortega as Lieutenant Gorman. The program's announcer began the program's opening each week. 21st Precinct. It's just lines on a map of the city of New York. Most of the 173,000 people wedged into the 9/10 of a square mile between Fifth Avenue and the East River wouldn't know, if you asked them, that they lived or worked in the 21st. Whether they know it or not, the security of their persons, their homes, and their property is the job of the men of the 21st. At that point the lead actor would complete the introduction. The 21st Precinct. 160 patrolmen, 11 sergeants and 4 lieutenants of whom I'm the boss. My name is Kennelly. Frank Kennelly. I'm captain in command of the 21st. Art Hanna, Bob Hill, and Hugh Holder were the program's announcers. The series was produced by John Ives. It was usually directed and written by Stanley Niss. Another source lists Niss as producer. Come and listen at www.myclassicradio.net.
Now, don't go away, because next on CBS Radio's Comedy Time are those two zany characters of many characters, Bob and Ray.
Hi, everybody. This is the Bob and Ray Show, and Pierre Chateaubriand, our conductor, is rehearsing the great Bob and Ray Orchestra in their new theme. That is Bob and Ray's new theme, which you'll hear in just a few moments.
He's been busy at this rehearsal for the past 7 hours today, and certainly has been putting every effort possible to make it the very best he can.
We hope, and he hopes, that you'll like the new Bob and Ray theme that will be heard every night, Monday through Friday from now on.
Seems to be having a little trouble with that B flat.
3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 2.
I think he has them pretty near ready now.
Oh, yeah, they're ready. Okay, we're on the air. Go ahead, Pierre.
Well, gee whiz, folks. We don't want to make like we're
All right, Pierre.
telling you a bunch of fibs.
Face the orchestra down.
Bob.
That's it, Pierre.
Just a second.
Yeah, boy.
Just, oh, no, come on, Bob. I know that was you.
What?
I think we've been kidding the folks a little too long.
We're just funding it up.
That's right. We don't even have a live orchestra there. It's a transcription, really. So we want to set the record straight on that.
I think it's a good idea if we set the record straight on a great many things.
Right.
Some controversy about what is and what isn't.
Well,
What's real and what isn't.
what's rigged and what isn't rigged.
Right. And we called our cast together today to kind of get their opinions. Webley, how do you feel about the whole situation?
Well, I don't know. I think the whole thing is rigged.
Well, you can't just make a general statement like that.
Well,
and say
I
that
tell you what, the
everything-
cowboy shows are rigged. I know that.
How do you mean that?
Well, the Indians never win, and I know that the Indians used to win once for a
You
while.
win it sometime anyway. huh?
They can't use real bullets either. Because if you think Paladin's going to get shot some Saturday night, you're crazy.
Well, of course not, but you see, that's all on film. It took place some weeks back, and it isn't happening as you see it.
Sure.
You have to keep that in mind as you watch.
You know, the only thing I think that's genuine is and honest as can be is the weather, because so seldom is the weather exactly what they say it
Very
will be.
wrong about that sometimes.
That's
sure.
right.
I mean, you couldn't make a book on that.
No,
under any
that's right.
circumstance.
Let me see. And
Hi, Bob and Ray. Wally Blues, Slicky.
Cut it out, Bob.
How do you mean?
Well, you don't
Sit down,
give the
Wally.
people like that. You sit down.
Well, how's everything going?
That's the sound effect, and we pull a chair around, and Joe Cabibbo, the sound man, did that. Now, come on, let's be
Well,
honest.
sure. There is no such thing as a Wally Ballou or Webley Webster.
Hi, folks.
Hi, Mary.
Say, have you
Mary
been reading
Goulding.
that?
Huh? Reading what?
About all the things, the realism we want to bring back?
Yeah, well, that's what we're trying to do. We thought maybe if we told the truth about everything on this show, we could do a great service to everybody.
Well, don't you think that that's a violation of a theatrical promise, really?
Well, in a way, Ray, yes, it is.
Oh, that's right.
You have to... You have to have a certain amount of magic in the theater.
Oh, sure. It has to be all make-believe. Fairyland, that's the basis of the theater, isn't it?
That's right. Now I'm going down into the studio audience and see if there's anyone here I can
Well,
talk
he really isn't, of course. He's not even moving. He's sitting right there at the same...
you, sir.
Yes? Although I'm really Ray.
You,
still sitting on a microphone.
Let me call you, what could I call you? Mr.
Mr. Hector, let me think of another name. Mr. Hector, Webster. Can I use
Hector
that
Webster.
name?
Is that all right, Webb? If you Okay. Mr. Webster, would you tell us where you're from? A real place you're from. Don't make it up.
Well, it'll have to be made up, because I'm not from any place, because I'm not real.
Well, I'm getting a little bit confused by this. How do you
I'm
feel
from
about
Grand Flat.
Grand Flat? I think there is such a place as that. So far, we're all right. How do you feel about the subject we've been discussing here?
Well, I don't know. I wonder sometimes about all those private eyes. How come they're always into these troubles? I mean, I've known private eyes in real life who go from like 6 months without ever bumping
Well, I
into anything.
think that's an established fact. I was reading the other day that most of them maybe have one tight scrape in their life.
You know that Gracie Allen doesn't begin to have that many relatives. You know that?
Well, that's probably so, I imagine.
That's a fact.
That's a theatrical thing.
Sure.
Of course, it isn't Burns and Allen.
Well,
It's
you
Burns
gotta go
and
back
Burns.
up on stage. Well,
All
I
right.
want to dominate your show.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Webster. Impersonated. And Back now, I'm on the
Nice,
page.
nice impersonating walking upstairs, Joe. Really terrific work. Now, let's see, where are we?
See, once again across the land, it's Thursday. Now, that we know for sure.
Yes, that's right. What about it? Spot, is it?
It's a little word about Sunday, which we give on Thursday.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Just a scant 3 days from now, Sunday will be rolling around again, which makes it appropriate for us right now to billboard Sunday's guests on the Mitch Miller Show.
Now, we got this list from the program department. Last time they snowed us a little bit, but I think this is the straight story this time.
Now, visiting Mitch this Sunday will be such show business luminaries as Fred Flinch, Human Pincushion, who'll demonstrate some of his effects right on the air before your very ears.
Mitch will be talking also to Melba LaFluke, star of stage, screen, telephone, and Punch and Judy shows.
And last but certainly not... Or least, certainly not last, I should say, you'll meet that pop singing group, the Four Tin Ears, whose latest disc, Strolling on Linoleum, has catapulted them into overnight oblivion.
So be sure to be listening to the sparkling Mitch Miller Show Sunday night on CBS Radio.
You really think he'll have those people visiting him?
Well, as we've just been discussing, you can't tell. We'll have to listen and find out, I guess. Huh?
Well, I don't think those people will be on. I think
he'll have real
make believe and try.
I don't
to
think
funny.
this came from the program department.
Be funny then, right?
Yeah.
Because he'll have real, genuine guests. I'll bet.
Is the writer of this piece of promotional copy here with us today?
Yes, I am. And it is made up.
All right.
Well, I thought it was funny.
And you are made up too, is that right? What are you made up as?
I'm made up as the King's Jester.
Uh-huh. All right, we'll get right over to the rehearsal because we have some things to do here. A recording.
And once again, it's time for broken down old Grand Motel, a speck of a place, a heck of a place, owned and operated by Leonard Humphrey and his daughter, Naomi. Today we find them on Route 66, busily working on an idea to increase business at Grand Motel.
Well, Naomi, one more nail and the sign will be in place. There. How's she look?
Fine, Dad. I'm glad you asked me to paint the sign. It gives me a sense of participation.
There, let me stand back and look at her. Grand Motel, excellent lodgings, free continental breakfast served at all times, 400 yards ahead.
How do you like the picture of Grand Motel I drew on it, Dad?
Well, it don't look nothing like Grand Motel, Naomi, and I'm grateful for that. Now, we better be getting back, because if this sign works the way I think it will work, we'll be snowed under. Let's go.
Gosh, Dad, it's been 6 hours since we put up the sign. Nary a bite so far. Cars are whizzing by like 60. Are you sure you measured the distance right? Are you sure it's 400 yards from here to the sign?
I paced it off myself, Naomi.
Well, maybe the sign fell down. I think we better go see.
Yeah, you're right. If it's worth putting up, it's worth looking after. Let's go.
Well, let's get out and take a look, Dad.
Naomi, look at that. Look what some skunk went and done. Added a comma and 2 zeros to the 400 yards. Reads 40,000 yards now. No wonder we wasn't getting no customers.
Dad, I'm sorry.
No, it ain't your fault, Naomi.
What are we going to do, Dad?
Yeah, I'm going to wet my handkerchief down in the creek there, and we'll wash off them extra zeros.
Is it wet yet, Dad?
Well, if it ain't, there's something wrong with the water back in the creek there.
Here, let me wash the sign. That's a woman's job.
Well, suit yourself, Naomi.
Give me the wet hanky, Dad.
Well, what's that? What's happening to the sign? There's colors running all over the
Oh,
place.
gosh, Dad, it's my fault. I don't work with anything but watercolors. I'd have given anything if this didn't happen.
Well, me too.
I'll do it over again. This time I'll do it in India ink.
Naomi, I've been thinking. Ain't nothing but grit and grime out here. How'd you like to go to a fancy Eastern school?
But, Dad, I'd never leave you and Grand Motel.
Come right down to it. A man can't count on nothing no more.
And so Leonard Humphrey's troubles mount out on Highway 66 as the old man is thwarted once again in his effort to make a paying venture out of Grand Motel.
And now here's a message from the watchmakers of Switzerland.
Swiss vacation. What do you know? Swiss vacation.
Win a fabulous vacation for two in beautiful Switzerland. Enter the Swiss Vacation Contest. It's easy. Nothing to buy. Pick up a free entry blank at a jewelry store or other store that sells quality watches. Then in 25 words or less, complete this statement. A quality watch is the best value because there are 1,000 prizes.
First prize, a 21-day vacation for two in Switzerland. You fly deluxe Swiss Air both ways. Visit many colorful places. All expenses paid for two people, plus $500 extra spending money.
Second, third, and fourth prizes. 15-day Swiss vacations for two.
Also, 4 mink stoles,
8 Bolex movie cameras and projectors.
12 Hermes typewriters,
160 $100 watches.
812 gala assortments of Tobler Swiss chocolates.
Enter the Swiss Vacation Contest today. Free entry blanks at your jewelry store.
Thank you, sir. Well, I mean, really, not talking to the wall when I say that.
Talking to that turntable over there.
Sure. Yes, of course.
We came across rather an interesting thing the other day, though. A gentleman who has gone into a new business, which he hopes is going to be quite successful, that of manufacturing gargoyles. And he's here with us now. You are Prentice L. Hargrove, is that right?
He couldn't come.
Well, then who are you?
I'm Nelson Hawker.
Mr. Hawker,
I'm a grotesque manufacturer.
We have to be rather brief about this, but...
Well, you look all right to me.
I get that joke pulled out of me all the time.
Because you manufacture gargoyles.
Well, not only gargoyles, but any other grotesques. We manufacture them to order in some cases.
Was there a good market for this?
No, not as good a market
as... I've seen a gargoyle on a building for years. On a new building.
Well, I was just going to trip you up there. Yes, they're on plenty of old buildings, but they're not on many new buildings. That's right. But I don't even know what you asked.
Well, the new buildings are all clean and smooth line architecture. Who do you sell gargoyles to?
Well, the market isn't as big or as wide, I should say, as it used to be. We try to sell them now as a doorstop, wedding gifts, lawn ornaments, maybe.
I should think on a lawn they might look...
and occasionally some people want them just to keep bad spirits away. Put them up on top of the garage.
Well, I think that might be the coming thing for them.
Well, I hope so, and it's, as I say, it's touch and go with us, pretty much.
Very well, Mr. Hawker.
I'll tell Prentice, though, that you treated me greatly.
Right, and thank you for dropping by. We'll have an important phrase for you in just 10 seconds.
Now, here's an important phrase. Fat globules. And until tomorrow, a very abject, right if you get work from Ray Goulding.
From Bob Elliott, a very transcribed hang by your phone.
All on tape.
CBS newsmen reveal the world tonight, every night, on the CBS Radio Network.
KRX, AM and FM, CBS Radio in Los Angeles. CBS Radio in Los Angeles.